Are you ready to taste victory? Are you ready to take your sports betting to a whole new level? Sit up, put your feet on the floor, because we have work to do. Welcome to the grind. Welcome to Cappers Nation, your weekly all things sports betting show. Tune in live every Thursday at 8 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Let us make you a more successful sports bettor.
Yo. There we go. Welcome, everybody. What's going on? Cap Nation Live. Have everybody here tuning in. Welcome. Thursday morning game day edition. Thursday the 5th of March. Welcome. Darren Lyons, what's going on? Shane Trainwreck, Robert Allen, Kip, Crypto and Tokens. Who Dat Bob? Good morning, Who Dat Bob. Thank you for that amazing king cake last night. I think we ate half of it. And there's still a half left. It is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. KO, good morning. Jeff, good morning. Marcus, good morning. Matt, good morning. Mr. Brackens, good morning as well. Mr. Keith Davis. Nick Rez in the house as well. Good morning, everybody. Get these window shades up. Good morning, William. Tuning in via text message as well. There we go. Get a little light in here. We can watch the kiddos play out on the playground this morning. Eternal in the house. What's going on? What is going on, everybody? I apologize for those little audio issues. First thing, I was trying to screw with the audio, trying to get everything set up for when Chase comes on in about 1 hour. About 1 hour, Chase, my buddy Chase will be joining us. I do hope everything goes smooth for that one. Oh, there's an echo. Give me 1 second. Let me know if that changed it. That one, oh, buddy, echo. I do hope everything goes. Let me know if that fixed it, if there's still an echo or not. Hopefully not. Good now? Okay. I don't know what I hit on here. I was trying to adjust everything so that way I'm able to hear him when we get him on and start talking NASCAR and all that good stuff. All right, folks. Give me 1 quick second here. I need to adjust something, and then we're going to be rocking and rolling. So I see the company did not get mad at. They actually sent me a message, said do it for is extended until today. Premium plays are my personal plays. Same thing with the buy the month. Get 2 months free. That's also extended. That is also extended. Buy a year, get a second year free. That is also extended. So good deals there. And also, if you guys want to try out premium plays, pick up that March Madness package. You get it included. We'll talk a little bit more about that and when you can expect to see the start of that here in a little bit as well. What we're going to do now, we're going to jump right into the game day breakdown. Not the breakdowns, but the recap and then the breakdowns from yesterday. Free plays yesterday. We dropped the Milwaukee Bucks over 222. That one was a couple buckets away. And let me tell you, each team had their little blunders in a couple quarters each where they were extremely low scoring, unacceptable numbers right there for each team. And got us close. Definitely got us close in that regards. But close doesn't count. Close doesn't count when you're trying to covering over there. So we dropped that one during the live show. During the first live show, gave you guys Dayton laying 4 as a free personal play. That was one of my biggest personal plays of the day, which had a winning record. As you can see, the stash is still here. We won, so the stash remains. But we won on Dayton. That was a nice one. We dropped Columbus plus 165, 175 if you bet it early. They were up 2-0 going into the third period, and they let Calgary back into it, and Calgary ended up beating them in OT. So that one stunk it up right there. Unfortunately, you get a plus 175 and you're winning 2-0 going into the final period, and you donk it off. It's always tough. It's definitely always tough, that's for sure. So free plays ended up going 1-2 yesterday. 1-2 yesterday. Dropped the big dog. Unfortunately, the big dog would have definitely made it a great winning day on free plays. Leans for the live show ended up going 6-6, 4-2 in the morning show, 2-4 in the evening show. Premium plays ended up going 1-1-1. 1 win, 1 loss, and a push yesterday. Winning on Indiana on the money line, laying $1.65 or 70, depending on where you got it. Lost on the Heat, laying 7, and then the Utah Jazz laying 8 ended up being a push late in that one. So unfortunately, the Jazz let the Knicks, the dirty Knicks, get us again. Take a win away from us, but 1-1-1. 1-1-1 there. NHL package ended up going 1-1. However, they did hit plus money. They had 2 dogs yesterday, both Columbus, which ended up losing in OT, as well as the Coyotes plus 105. So made a little scratch, not much, little pocket change. Covered the loss on Columbus, put a little pocket change in the pocket, but not much. Literally pocket change, maybe some McDonald's lunch money for a combo or something. My personal plays, a winning day, 2-1 on my personal plays yesterday. 2-1 on my personal plays. I dropped the Thunder laying 8 against the Pistons. They won by 7, which definitely stunk right there. Definitely stunk right there. Like we said, hammered Dayton as the biggest one of the day. That was a nice one. And then Virginia on the money line, as we talked about on the live show. Virginia on the money line was a nice win there. They ended up winning by 2. And then getting the job done for us there. But another good day in the works for today. Premium Plays going to have a nice big day today. Premium Plays are not posted on the website yet, or is the NHL. And my personal plays have not been sent out yet. All the plays will actually be posted after Cappers Nation Live today. Everything will be posted after Cappers Nation Live. I need to have a conference call, one final conference call before we post the plays. Want to make sure everything is perfect before we post them. So they'll be posted. We do apologize for the late posting of the plays yesterday and today. We're trying to work out the difference of me being in the other office, and we haven't got it down to a science yet, but I think we got it figured out starting for tomorrow. Give me 1 second, folks. Alrighty. So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna jump into some game day breakdowns. Our buddy Chase is gonna be joining us live here in about 30 to 45 minutes. As soon as he sends me a text letting me know he's here and he's ready to rock and roll, we'll bring him on live, and hopefully the feed is good. We haven't done it, and I've never tested it. I mean, we've done the live feed from the Vegas office. But I've never tested it from the West Phoenix office. We were going to try and do a test, but we ran out of time on that one. So there's been no test on it. So hopefully the feed goes smooth and all of that good stuff. Hopefully we can get all of that ironed out. So bear with us while we do that when he comes on board, and see if we can't have some fun. Arturo Pieces, man, it's been so long you got a mustache now. No, what happened was I lost my game of the week on Tuesday. So part of my consolation for losing a game of the week before a Wednesday was I had to shave my beard and put on a ridiculous mustache. So here I am with the stash face, and we're going to keep it going. We did a little thing that if I win, I got to keep it. And well, I don't want to say unfortunately because we won, but unfortunately we had a winning day yesterday, and I got to keep the mustache, if you know what I mean. The money in the pocket was good, but the what was I gonna say? But unfortunately, I got to keep the stash another night. Darren Lyon says we got to get a Facebook group chat going for the nighttime after we are done watching good old Kyle. We can definitely do that. I'm sure we can set something up. I know we have a Facebook page. I'm not really big into Facebook and all of that. Hell, I made a profile. They made me make a profile, and so I am on there somewhere, but I don't really log in. But I know we have a Cappers Nation and a Cappers Nation live show one. But I'll see if I can if we can figure out something so that way you guys can have a place to chat for Cappers Nation. Arturo says he likes Twitter. Danny D-Rock, Kyle, when are you fishing again? I was actually hoping to go fish the FLW tournament on Lake Havasu next week, but that's not going to happen. It's March Madness, and I'm too busy. And there's no way I can get away for that one. But one thing that I am looking at is going up to Clear Lake in Northern California and fishing the other Pro-Am to the one that I fished in Havasu last month. But that'll be end of this month. I'll literally leave, I think, on the 30th or something like that, right around there, right before the national championship game. So I won't actually be in Vegas for the national championship game, but I mean, let's be honest, the fun is already done after the Final Four. So, but no, next month I'll be fishing, or end of this month. We'll do a live show from on the water at Clear Lake. Show you guys hopefully a big double-digit 10-pounder. Keith, what's going on? Mia tuning in. Welcome. Andre in the house. Good morning. Glad to have everybody here. If you're new to the channel, which I know most of you are not, but if you are new to our YouTube channel, please do hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you get notified each and every single time we drop content. You will be notified. Tap that little bell. That way you get the instant notifications. And I'm telling you guys, we'll definitely make it worth your while for being part of the Cappers Nation program. And we're definitely looking to have a strong week. And let's have some fun. So I know Chase will be joining us here soon. About a half hour, 45 minutes. And then, matter of fact, let me text him and tell him I sent the link for him to log into his email. Maybe you have to bring on one of you guys and your ugly mugs onto the show. Send you guys a link as well. So, let me text him real quick. Link has been emailed. DJ Wavy in the house. What's going on? I do appreciate it. I do appreciate the thumbs up, my brother, as well. And no sheetrock yet, no drywall yet, unfortunately. I'm actually literally at, what is it? The time difference here is really screwing me up. Noon Eastern time. No, not noon Eastern time. 2 p.m. Eastern time. I am jetting. We got to get off the live feed, and then I will be jetting at like 2:15. And I have a meeting with the superintendent today, a walkthrough, the frame walkthrough today. Nope, Marlon Dean Duru, no plays have been posted yet, not until after Cappers Nation today. Immediately following the live show, they'll be posted. Immediately following today's live show, they'll be posted. But I do believe the drywall is next after the frame walkthrough. They're supposed to do the drywall and all that. They got the chicken wire and the styrofoam or whatever right before they do the stucco. All of that, and the tiles are on the roof. I mean, they're not. I mean, they're placed around the roof. They're stacked around the roof to distribute the weight. Billy Hills says, "LOL, I'm seriously sanding sheetrock while I listen." Well, I wish it was on our new house. That's for sure. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna break down a couple games before Chase get here. That way we can actually get some of those game day breakdowns underway. And we're going to start out right at the top, Houston, Connecticut, for you guys. And actually, I did get a request. I know this is probably not going to be a popular game, but we're going to do the Bucknell American first. All right, this is for Marcus. Marcus sent as a good customer of ours. Asked if I'd do the Bucknell and American University game. So we're going to take a look at that one, guys. Real quick, we'll do this game. It's a 7 p.m. Eastern time game, and then we'll jump around and we'll take a look at some of the games for today, okay? And then remember, we'll be live again 5 p.m. Eastern time. 5 p.m. Eastern time. Maybe we'll take a look at the Air Force San Diego State game as well as the Boise State UNLV game because they are early. Maybe then we have plenty of time to do the Nebraska and Michigan game when we get back. So, as far as this one goes, let me pop up the game number for us. It's an added game. It's the Patriot League tournament game. It's the quarterfinals, guys. It's game 308-279 and 308-280. Okay. 280. American opened up as a 6-point favorite. It's quickly dropped. It's down to 5. The MGM, believe it or not, literally, as I just refreshed it, dropped it to 4.5. And total at 139.5 is where it opened. It's down a half a point and settled at 139 for this game. Taking a look at both programs, a side-by-side comparison. First of all, Bucknell 13-19 on the year, 8-10 in conference play. They are coming off, that Patriot League tournament win over Holy Cross. They lost their last game of the regular season against Boston U, 74-71. And here they are. They get American, guys. They already beat American on the 15th of February, 72-68. However, they lost to them on January 15th on the road, 61-60. So both of these two teams have played in two very close games. And, here they are, guys. This is going to be a neutral site game at the Bender Arena there in Washington, D.C. So neutral site game for both parties here. Taking a look at American University, 16-13 on the year for Mike Brennan and his program, guys. They went 12-6 in the Patriot League. They won 2 straight, won 3 out of their last 4. They actually won 6 out of their last 8, 7 out of their last 10 games as well. Beating Holy Cross, Lafayette, Navy, Loyola, Maryland, Army, Navy, Lehigh, and they on and on and on and on. They actually started out their season extremely tough, 4-8 on the year, 0-1 in conference play with a loss against Colgate. They completely turned it around, and since January 15th until today, they ended up going 12-5 to turn their program around. But then again, a little American University had some tough tasks, in their first 12 or first 11 games. Georgetown, George Mason, Howard, George Washington, so they, and those were a couple teams that they actually beat. So, I'd like to say how, as far as this one goes, hold on one second, folks. American University is actually the home team today, so it's not a neutral site game. They're playing at the Bender Arena, and their home court advantage is 2.5. Tournament game at their home court arena. I'm not going to hold much weight in it because it is the Patriot League, and they've got a home court advantage at 2.5. But if you take a look at their record and you see how they've played at home, in conference play they lost to Colgate at home. Okay, American lost to Colgate at home. Other than that, they played exceptional in conference play at home. On the road, They lost to at home out of conference play. They lost to Stony Brook at home, and William and Mary. So while they do play exceptional at home, I might give them a half a point to a point advantage, even though the score, the home court ranking score definitely doesn't justify that. Joe Dirt, what's going on, my brother? Thanks for tuning in. As far as the side-by-side comparison, first of all, Americans' offense is light years ahead. Their offense is light years ahead. Defense, pretty much similar numbers. Let's take a look at conference play numbers, and let's see if we can see the big difference here. Let's start with Bucknell. All right, hitting 49.6% from the field. They're an excellent three-ball shooting team at 35.1%, number 2 in the Patriot League. However, they'll be going up against the number 1 three-ball defense in the Patriot League. In American, holding teams at 29.3% shooting. And 47.4% of all their two-point plays are converted for Bucknell. 65% free throw shooting. Bucknell, they're going to be going up against a American University defense that's actually top in their league, or top in their conference in a lot of categories, holding teams to 48% shooting. 20.6% turnover rate on defense for American University, which tops the Patriot League. American, when they're on offense, 51.7% from the field in conference play, 33.3% from out deep, 52.6% conversion of all their jump shots, layups, and dunks, hitting just under 73% from the charity stripe as well. Taking a look at the two-foul participation, Americans doubled, and it is in effect, and it definitely could be a factor here. Just under 27.5% for American, 13.8% for Bucknell. So there is definitely a little advantage for Bucknell here. Height advantage goes to Bucknell as well, about a half-inch height advantage on average, not much. Both go to the bench for almost 30% of their total minutes as well. So as far as, a lot of things go, in conference play, Americans' defense has definitely stepped up their numbers. If you take a look at their all-year numbers, they're side by side. However, in conference play, which is basically what we've been doing now, Americans' defense has definitely stepped it up in conference play, and it's why they have the winning record that they have in conference play and turn their season around, winning 12 out of their last 17 games. Other than that, folks, as far as this breakdown goes, I'm not sure. The 4.5 right now, it's definitely enticing. As far as the total goes, I can see it creeping over, but it's too close to call. So as far as this one goes, I'll lean on it. I do lean towards American laying the 4.5, which is where the line is currently at MGM. But again, this is like a very small lean. I'm not fond of it. Maybe on the money line would be a better bet, or adding them to a teaser might be a little more realistic. But again, not a huge fan of it whatsoever. Not a huge fan of that line whatsoever. Joe Dirt, I always like me some Montana laying 2. However, I'd rather them on the money line. But we'll break down that game later on, probably in the afternoon show. But not a fan of the Montana game today. I agree with Shane. Shane says American wins for sure. Not sure about the points, though. Stay away from me. I'm in the same boat as that one. I'm in the same boat and the same opinion on that one. So what we'll do next, since we still have a little bit more time, try and get through some of these breakdowns, we'll take a look at the Air Force San Diego State game, big spread game. And that one's coming up, guys. That one goes down at in an hour and 50 minutes. This one starts. So if I can find it, there we go. Air Force San Diego State, the Mountain West Conference game here at the Thomas and Mack Center. If you guys have never been able to go to a game at the Thomas and Mack Center, it's pretty cool. I love the Thomas and Mack Center where UNLV plays, home of our Running Rebels. Air Force guys, 12-19 on the year. I feel like we just talked about these guys, like yesterday. We did. Against Fresno State. They absolutely flipped the script on us and beat Fresno State 77-70. which actually brought them to 12-19 on the year. They went 5-13 in conference play, and here they are. Here they are entering quarterfinals against San Diego State, guys, who's 28-1. 28-1, whose only home loss was to our Running Rebels, ruining the perfect season. Thank you, Running Rebels, for ruining the perfect season. They beat them 66-63 in San Diego. Here they are going up against Air Force, guys. They've already beat Air Force. They beat them by 15 on the road back on February 8th. This is definitely going to be a San Diego State game. However, they are coming off a little layoff, and sometimes, luckily for them, it's not a big layoff. Their last game was on the 29th, and here they are 5 days later with the game. So it's not a huge layoff. 5 days, not uncommon. I mean, heck, it was, but if you take a look at what happened between Boise State and UNLV, they had 6 days of rest. Okay? They had 6 days of rest. So, but in the Mountain West Conference, 5 days of lapse time in between contests, in between games, is not a big number. Okay, taking a look at the side-by-side comparison, let's take a look at conference play numbers and see what we can see, because if you factor in Air Force's all-year numbers, the stats are much different, but most of their wins, all but 5, so 7 of their 12 wins all came outside of conference play. So we're going to do conference play numbers and take a look at them. Air Force hitting 50.4% from the field, 34.8% from out deep. They're converting 49.1% of all their 2-point plays, 68.5% free throw shooting, 24.2% offensive rebounds, 17.8% at the turnover rate, which is actually 1.2% below the Division I average. So quality when it comes to there. However, they're going to be going up against the number 1 defense in the Mountain West, San Diego State. Air Force might be shooting 50.4% from the field. However, San Diego State's holding teams to 46%, number 1 in the Mountain West. They're also the number 2 defending 3-ball team in the Mountain West Conference, holding teams to 30%, as well as the number 2 in the stat category at holding teams to their 2-point shots at 46.7%. So Air Force is definitely going to have a tall task ahead of them today. Take a look at San Diego State on offense. Not only do they have the number 1 defense in the Mountain West, they have the number 1 rated offense, and they are number 1 in every stat with the exception of offensive rebounds and 3-point shooting in the Mountain West. They're hitting 55.4% from the field, number 1. Limiting turnovers is 16.4%, number 1 in the Mountain West. 3-point shooting, 37.4%. Believe it or not, that's only 3rd. Although Air Force's defense has been giving up 38% shooting to out deep. So look for a bigger number from San Diego State out deep. 54.8% conversion of all their 2-point plays, every jump shot, layup, and dunk. Number 1 in the Mountain West. Free throw shooting, 80.9%. They're an 81% free throw shooting team, number 1 in the Mountain West. 2-foul participation, both teams don't really participate. 11% for each team. Height advantage, there's almost a half-inch height advantage on average per player for Air Force. Believe it or not, both teams go to the bench for roughly the same 25 minutes a game, 25% of the minutes played by bench personnel. And point distribution, is literally identical. Both teams right around the 36 to 37 percentile for 3-point plays. Both in 45 to 46 as total point distribution will be a 2-point play. Both in the high 17% for free throws. All right, both rely on the free throws. However, San Diego State definitely will knock them down. If Air Force puts them on the line, San Diego State will capitalize and take full advantage with that 81% free throw shooting capability. As far as this one goes, as far as the line on this one, where it sits currently. Give me 1 second, folks. It opened at 17. It's at 7, or opened up at 17.5. I see 17. Caesars just dropped it to 16.5 alongside the stations, casinos. It's a tournament game. Factor that into the equation. Now, San Diego State is definitely wanting to be a 1 seed when it comes to the big tournament. They still have an opportunity to be a big one, to be a 1 seed. But I did hear some talk that there's a possibility that they won't be a 1 seed unless they win out in their conference. Most definitely, they definitely need to, because if they suffer a loss, especially to Air Force, never say never, Shane. We've seen some big upsets. Bang bang, Niner gang in the house. What's going on? But as far as this one goes, if you shop around, you can find 17 all over Vegas. You can find 17.5 at Bovada. What's going on, Randy C? Jeff, what's going on, guys? But as far as this one goes, as far as the line going up, it's already came down a full point. Who said? I think Darren Lyon says he thinks the line will go up. It's already came down a full point from where it opened to where it is now at Caesars and MGM. So if you're waiting for that line to go up to get more, you may not be able to get more later on. 69% of the money coming in right now is on Air Force. So there you go. 69% of the money coming in is taking Air Force plus the points. They're definitely begging you to take the 16.5 or 17, depending on where you get. But as much as I'm not an Air Force fan, I was a United States Navy sailor. So generally I'd be rooting against them. But I think the smart money would be on Air Force plus the 17. San Diego State doesn't need the knockout blow today. So if they get a good lead, they'll probably pull players and rest, knowing that it is a tournament they'll be playing tomorrow, the next day, and trying to do all that they can do to make sure that they win the Mountain West Conference tournament. That way they can be a 1 seed in the big dance. So as far as this one goes, I do lean towards Air Force plus the 17. If you bet on Bovada, you can get 17.5. Shane, who do I like more in college basketball, USC or UNLV? My Trojans. UNLV is like my adopted team, but they absolutely suck. They're trash. Not always. 6-7 years ago, we had some good kids. We had a good recruiting class year after year, and UNLV basketball was fun back then. I actually used to have season tickets. What was it? 5 years ago, for 6 years, and went to every home game. And UNLV basketball is just not fun anymore. I get it. I can root for a losing team. That's not a problem. I don't mind rooting for a losing team. I don't expect the Raiders to come to Vegas and be a winning program right off the bat. Maybe they will be, but I doubt it. And I have no problem rooting for a bottom of the barrel rooting team as long as they, do steps and they ask boosters, for more money, but yet they're not doing anything to improve their situation, to improve their recruiting class, to improve their coaching. UNLV keeps taking steps backwards. So Robert Allen says, if you do take Air Force, don't be shocked if they get beat by 27. I agree. They can get beat by 30. That defense can absolutely shut down Air Force and make Air Force's life miserable, where all San Diego State needs to do is just go down, make a basket, make a stop, make a basket, make a stop. You do that 10 times, you're down 20, 25 points. Is that going to happen? It's a very big possibility. However, it's March. We've seen some crazy things happen, so throw that into the equation of the what ifs. We've seen some crazy things happen. Heck, UNLV beat San Diego State. Now, UNLV has a winning record, 17-14, 12-6 in conference play, and they were on a nice little win streak. I think they ended up winning out 5 straight games to end the regular conference play season. So, as far as that one goes, it's Air Force or pass. But again, I don't have any money on that one, and I can promise you it won't be one of our plays. That I could promise you is it won't be one of our plays. William asking if we could break down game 707 708. We can, but I want to make sure that we cover some of these early games first, these tournament games. So, like, I'll be just getting live again at 5 p.m. Eastern time when the Boise State and UNLV game goes. So let's break down the Boise State UNLV game next, because that one we won't have a chance to break down because we'll be live. Or, I mean, we'll just be getting live when that game's tipping off. So let's do that one, because that should be a good game. Boise State UNLV should be a definite good game. Taking a look at the line on this one, it's where did it go? Game 701, 702. But William, I'll definitely either I have time here in a minute or two to do it, or I'll do it first thing when we come back. But if I don't do it on this one, just send me a reminder right when we go live, and I'll definitely do it for you when we go live the second time. Boise State UNLV, guys. Line opened up for our Running Rebels at 2.5. It's down to 1, believe it or not. Some money coming in on Boise State. Boise State getting some money coming in on them. Dropping that line on UNLV to -1. Total opened up at 141. It's up 1.5 to 142.5. Take a look at Boise State, guys. 19-11 on the year for the Broncos. Leon Rice in his program ended up going 11-7 in conference play. Keep in mind, their last game was against UNLV, who they lost by 10-2 on the road. They're on the road playing in UNLV's home court. Okay? The Running Rebels are the home team here. It's their arena, all of that good stuff. All right? They just lost to them on Wednesday, the 26th, a week ago. Okay? Here they are again. They get them in the tournament today. Should definitely be a tough game for both teams. Trying to beat a team back-to-back should definitely be tough. Boise State beat them on their own home court up in Boise, 73-66. So this is the third game of their meeting, the little rubber match here. And it should be a neutral site game, tournament game. However, Mountain West Conference games are always played at the Thomas and Mack Center. So unfortunately, for Boise State, they get to play UNLV in their own home court. So take a look, guys, side-by-side comparison. Take a look at these conference play numbers. You got Boise State hitting 52.4% from the field, 35.4% from out deep, converting just under 52% of all their two-point plays. Anthony, what's going on, sir? And they're an exceptional three-ball shooting team at 77.5%, which, believe it or not, is only the third best in the Mountain West when it comes to free throw shooting. San Diego State is number 1 at 81%. Don't forget, guys, we do still have the buy 3 days, get 3 days free. Premium plays are my personal plays, $99. Buy a month of premium plays, get 2 months free. Also, buy any 1-year package, and they will double it to 2 years. Thank you, Nathan. Yeah, it was definitely the value play was on Virginia there. I mean, we literally laid a couple cents more to take them on the money line. I appreciate that, though, Nathan. Randy says UNLV is better. Matt says, I mean, if they're better, why did they get smacked by them on Wednesday? I think you must be reading it correctly. Boise State got smacked by UNLV last Wednesday, 76-66, unless you guys are talking about a whole different program or a whole different team. But UNLV just won their last meeting. Taking a look again, guys, at the numbers in conference play. You've got UNLV hitting 50.5% from the field, 31.5% from out deep, 52.8% conversion of all their 2-point plays, and just 69% free throw shooting. 2 foul participation, both are there, 29.5%. For UNLV, 28.7% for Boise State. So same numbers there. Height advantage, over a full inch height advantage for Boise State. Both go to the bench for over 30% of their total minutes. Boise relies on that three ball for 36% of their total points, which is a big number. UNLV more of the 2-point play type of team, which puts 50% of their total points there. And the other 50 broken up 30, almost 31, 19 from 3-point attempts to free throws. But as far as this game goes, I would take, and I'm actually staying off of this game because I do believe that it could go either direction here in the rubber match. All right. However, it's a rubber match, not. It's home of the Running Rebels. So I definitely factor that into the equation. And you definitely have to factor that into the equation. Okay. But I think even though Boise State on paper is the better team, on paper they are the better team. However, UNLV already getting the win. They're still at home. They haven't had to go anywhere. Haven't had to do any of that good stuff. As far as that goes, I do lean towards the Running Rebels. But, and here's the big but, if I was going to take them, which as of right now I don't have any money on them, and they will probably not be a play, you can get them minus $1.18 on the money line. You could either -1, minus $1.10, or just take them at, minus $1.18 on the money line. So if I was going to do anything, it would be UNLV on the money line, minus 118. Other than that, it's a stay away. But on paper, Boise State is definitely the better program. On paper, they're the better program, both offense and defensively. However, I will be honest with you, if you take their all-year numbers, UNLV comes in with the better offense. Based on adjusted efficiencies, UNLV has a better offense. They're the better offensive rebounding team. And keep in mind, UNLV is the #1 offensive rebounding team in the Mountain West Conference. Boise State's the 7th. So Shane, no, it's not a neutral site game. It's a tournament game, but it's at the home of UNLV. It's at the home of UNLV. So the Thomas and Mack Center hosts the Mountain West Conference tournaments. And that's UNLV's home court. Marcus, what's going on? If you hit the rewind button, don't know if you heard, but we did your American University game first. We did your American University game first. Hold on one second, folks. Give me 1 second, folks. Okay. So, next one that we're going to do. Mauricio, I did get the package. I did. I got it from Who Dat Bob. I got a king cake, a very delicious king cake, let me tell you. Pat says, Boise playing with a chip on their shoulder tonight. I think that's safe to say on both teams. Especially UNLV's lackluster tournament performance the last couple years. I think it's safe to say both programs are definitely playing with a chip on their shoulder. Nonetheless, Eliezer says, nice stash, thank you. When you lose the game of the week, you got to shave the beard and run the stash. But I don't know. We'll see if we're growing it back or not. We'll see. I don't know if I necessarily say revenge, but because it's the rubber match. You know, this is going to be the third meeting. Each team has already won. But I believe, you know, both teams will definitely come in with a chip on their shoulder and play hard today. That I agree. All right, so we're going to do another one. Chase should be joining us live here in about 15 minutes. So we're going to jump in, and since we have time, we're going to take a look at the Nebraska-Michigan game, because that will be the first one that'll be going off after we go live. If I can find it here, we'll break it down. There it is. This is a non-tournament game for everybody that doesn't know. They'll be at the Chrysler Center. They're in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Cuban Connect says, what's up? What do you think about the Air Force plus 10 first half? I'm not a big first half bettor when it comes to college basketball, unless we get a lead on something like we did last year. VCU first half was rolling. I think we won 18 straight on VCU, taking the first half bets. Other than that, I'm not a big super fan of taking first halves in college, because there's such big swings, especially against a team like San Diego State. In order for them to get plus 10, that's only 5 stops. 5 stops and 5 buckets, and you can kiss that plus 10 goodbye. So as far as that first half goes, against the number 1 defense in the Mountain West and the number 1 offense in the Mountain West, San Diego State, then I think the first half bet would definitely be risky, in my opinion. Danny York, Kyle, can you give everyone a free personal play for my birthday? LOL. We're definitely going to give out a free play, that's for sure. Definitely going to give out a free play, no doubt about it. But next up, Nebraska, Michigan. Before Chase comes on, we'll try and roll through this one. It's game 661, 662. Michigan, here we go, guys. Another big spread game. 17.5 was the opening number. It's down to 17 where it settled. Total opened up at 148, and the total jumped, guys. Total jumped all the way up to 150.5 at the Westgate, 151 just about everywhere other than the D Casino, which is holding strong with the Westgate's number. Take a look at Nebraska, guys. The dumpster fire in the Cornhuskers, 7-22. All right, 7-22. They've lost 14 games straight. All right, finished 2-16 in conference play. They have not won a game since January 7th, and they have not won on the road. None of that good stuff. Happy birthday, Danny, as well. Cuban Connect, no problem, my pleasure. But, if you take it, I hope you do win, and I'll definitely root for you. I don't have $1 on that game, and I don't have a dog in that fight, but I'll definitely root for you if you do. Taking a look, guys, Michigan, 18-11 on the year. Juwan Howard and his program, they went 9-9 in the Big Ten Conference. They've lost 2 straight. Wisconsin, Ohio State. Ohio State just beat them by 14, guys, 77-63. They smashed them. Michigan was hanging strong. Unfortunately, we were on Michigan on that game. We put a lean out on Michigan on that game, and they were holding strong, and then it was like, poof, the wheels just fell off, and Ohio State pulled right ahead. And here we are. All right, they get Nebraska today. They get Maryland on Sunday to finish out the Big Ten Conference, and then they'll start their tournament next week. All right, home court advantage at the Chrysler Center, 3.4. It's the 106th toughest place to play in all of Division I. The 46th largest, 12,707 screaming fans at the Chrysler Center. And let's take a look at the side-by-side game comparison. We're going to take a look at conference play numbers. Matt, no, we did not break down the Army game. We broke down the American University game, Air Force game, and the Boise UNLV game. Taking a look at Nebraska, guys, and the dumpster fire Cornhuskers, 46.8% from the field. Dead last. Well, almost dead last in their conference. Believe it or not, they're not. They are in free throws, though, at 59.4% free throw shooting, 31.8% from out deep, 46.2% conversion of all their 2-point plays. And I said that 59.4% in conference play from the charity stripe. Dumpster fire. All right, dumpster fire. Michigan, guys, 50.1% from the field, 30.7% shooting from out deep. They are a poor three-point shooting team. If Michigan can knock down threes, they'd probably have a few more wins on the win column. They're hitting 52.8% of all their two-point plays, every jump shot, layup, dunk. Number one in the Big Ten. All right, 71.6% free throw shooting. Quality number. Number one in the Big Ten at limiting turnovers. I don't know how. 13.5%, guys. If they could actually just make a three and move the ball around maybe just a little bit more, they'd probably have a few more wins on the column. Nebraska, one of their problems, they're actually the fastest-paced team in the Big Ten. They're the worst shooting team, the worst record. They're dead last. They absolutely suck. They're a dumpster fire. Maybe they actually need to slow down their program and not rush the shots and take high percentage shots and rush them. It's a method for disaster. All right. So as far as this one goes, offensive rebounds edge Michigan, but not much when it comes to the offensive rebounds, just by a couple percent. Two foul participation, major advantage for Michigan. They're only in at 5%, 25% for Nebraska. Height advantage, a little over a half-inch height advantage for Michigan, as we already know that one. As far as these two teams go, obviously both are coming off losses, more so for Nebraska. And you got to ask yourself, this is definitely a big spread game, but who needs this one more? Nebraska or Michigan? Obviously, Michigan definitely needs to win, but it would be Nebraska's final two games are like playing in the tournament, all right? If they get one win between Michigan and Minnesota, it's a monster win for them. Are they going to win today? I want to say no, but it is Michigan. Michigan has done some stupid things over the course of the year and last year and cost us a lot of money. But how do they play at home? Well, Michigan lost to Wisconsin at home, 81-74. They also lost to Ohio State, 61-58. They lost to Illinois, 64-62. Penn State, 72-63 at home. All right, they also lost to Oregon in overtime at home, 71-70. So this is a team that actually showed us they can lose at home, but they're losing to quality programs. Okay? They're losing to quality programs. But Nebraska's not a quality program. So, for me, as much as I want to say, I think Michigan, lay to 17. They should absolutely blow them out. They should just absolutely pummel them. They should. Rightfully so, they should. Michigan should win by 30 today. But I don't like it. Michigan is a liability. They've shown us that time and time again with their losses to Illinois, Penn State, Iowa, Minnesota. Now, they have quality losses. We're going to say that. Nebraska's not a quality team. But as far as this one goes, Pat says, this is the game Vegas gets everyone tonight. Huskers cover. I tend to agree with you on that one. Obviously, I think Michigan has the capability of winning and winning by 30. But I'm going to stay away from this one. But if I had to choose, I'd probably say Nebraska plus the 17 or stay away. More so stay away just because of Michigan's history. Now, Michigan can drop a team off, all right? They beat Northwestern by 25. They beat Indiana by 24. Okay? But then again, they beat Rutgers by 8. They beat Purdue by 8. They beat Rutgers by 6 in their first meeting. They beat Nebraska only by 11 on the road. But then they've had the capability to blow teams out, and they didn't. They beat Gonzaga by 18 on a neutral site game. So as far as that goes, I think it's either Nebraska plus the 17 or stay away. And for me, it's a stay away. I think there's better games out there to put my money on than something that has the possibility of it's either this or a stay away. Robert, I throw all of that out the equation. Vegas has nothing to do with it with the refs. That I promise you. Give me 1 second, folks. One more second, guys. All right, guys. Now, let's get to it. Let's do another game. Chase is not here just yet. He should be here any minute now. But until he logs in, and first of all, if you guys are watching, I'm going to try and make the stream a little bit better. If you're watching on Facebook Live, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, or the live stream app, please come to our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com or the YouTube app. Just type in Cappers Nation Live or Cappers Direct. It'll pop up, okay? I'm going to shut those feeds down. That way we can get the fastest bandwidth to YouTube. That way when Chase comes on live, we don't have any issues. Hopefully we don't have any issues. Hopefully we don't have any audio issues or none of that. So, with that being said, if you're watching on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook Live, Periscope, Twitter, or the live stream, come join us on YouTube. Your feeds are being shut down and you're being evicted to come to YouTube. So we'll see you guys all live on YouTube. Plus, the live chat's more fun. Hold on one second, guys. Okay. One more to shut down. There we go. Now we'll be ready. Now we're going to break down. Definitely, Keith says, keep Nashville, Middle Tennessee area in your thoughts and prayers. There's devastation all around me. People have lost loved ones, and our thoughts and prayers definitely to everybody in Nashville and Middle Tennessee. I have some friends and family that way, and it's definitely devastating what they went through the other day. A massive tornado went 50 miles on the ground. Absolutely horrible. All right, so we're going to take a look at another game, guys. We're going to take a look right into it. We're going to jump into the Wichita State-Memphis game, 9 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN. We're going to jump into this one while we're waiting for Chase to come join us live. And then once he joins us live, we'll have some fun. Give me 1 second, folks. I want to just set something up for when he does come on live, because I'll be honest, we haven't had anybody on live, and the computer system here, even though it's the same system that I use, it's definitely different than what we're used to. So just bear with me 1 second. Got to figure this out somehow, or else we won't have a way to get them on. So give me 1 second, folks. All right, I think we'll have it as soon as he's on. As soon as he logs in, I should be able to. As soon as he logs in, I should be able to set it up. Hopefully. We'll figure it out once he logs in. This system is completely different for live guests than I'm used to, so bear with me there, folks. All right, so we're going to get this next one going. Wichita State and Memphis, guys. You got the Shockers 22-7 on the year, beating Temple and SMU. They've won 5 out of their last 6 games, with their only loss coming by way of a 3-point loss on Sunday to Cincinnati. We were on the wrong side of that one. Memphis, guys, 20-9 on the year. They've won 3 out of their last 4 as well, with their only loss coming by 5 points on the road against SMU. They get Wichita State at home today, who they already lost to on the road, 76-67. And then here they are, guys. Revenge game playing at the FedEx Forum, holds 18,400 fans. It gets a home court advantage score of 4.3, which makes it the 5th toughest place to play in all of Division One. Definitely going to be a tall task, but a good home court advantage. For Memphis here. Taking a look, guys, at the opening numbers. Let me pop up the game number on this one, guys. If you're looking for the game number on it, it's game 667, 668. Memphis opening up as a 1.5-point favorite. It quickly jumped to 2 where it's at right now, okay? The line is at Memphis laying 2, Wichita State catching 2 on the road. Total at 137.5 is where it opened. It's hovering there. However, it's trending upwards. Both the D Casino, the Westgate, and BetDSI Offshore all moved it to 138. So it's trending. The total's trending in the upwards direction here on this one. As far as the side-by-side comparison, taking a look at conference play numbers. First of all, Wichita State, their shooting has been poor. 45.3% from the field, 31.5% from out deep, 44% conversion of their 2-point plays, just 69% free throw shooting. Offensive rebounds, 30.7%, which is quality. Turnovers, limiting their turnovers to just 18.8%. Memphis, for example, is a high 22.7% in this number right there. All right, big number right there for Memphis. A lot of turnovers. Memphis hitting 48.8% from the field, 31.9% from out deep, 49.5% of all their jump shots, layups, and dunks, and they are a poor 67% free throw shooting team. All right. If you're new to the YouTube channel, take 1 second out of your day, hit that subscribe button right down below. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you get notified each and every single time we drop content, and you'll be notified. 2 foul participation between both programs. None, zip, zilch, null and void. All right? Null and void. Bench minutes, 38% roughly for each team. Height advantage, no real height advantage for either team. As far as this game goes, point distribution. Wichita State relies on that 3 ball for 34% of the total points scored. However, they suck. They suck from out deep, all right? But as far as, as far as this goes, as far as this game goes, as far as this game goes, I do lean towards Memphis. It's just a lean on this one. But again, it's another scenario where you have to take a look at the money line aspect of it. They're laying $1.33. $1.33. You could either take a minus 2 at minus 110, or you could lay 23 cents more, and they only got to win by 1 versus win by 3. So I think the home team gets the victory here. I think Memphis squeaks in, even though Wichita State's already beat them. I do lean towards Memphis. But if I was going to bet them, I would take them on the money line minus $1.33. Hold on 1 second, folks. I need to send Chase the link again. Give me 1 second, folks. All right, guys, so there's that one on that one. Got through some quality leans, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 breakdowns. In the meantime, we're going to wait for Chase. But, guys, give me 2 minutes. I will be right back in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to get something set up for us, so that way he's should be clicking on here shortly. And then we should be good to go here in just a minute, all right? So give me about 2 minutes. We'll be right back. If you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button right down below, and then we'll be right back with you, and hopefully Chase will be joining you. If not, we'll break down another game until he gets on live. So give me 1 second, guys, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back. Welcome. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I've just tried adjusting the sound. Alrighty, so let me guys know. I can't talk today. Well, let me know that you guys can hear me. We're all good to go. And then that way we can get ready to rock and roll. So I'm getting the audio set up. That way we could bring on my brother Chase, who's waiting. And we'll be ready to rock and roll. So here we go. If I could ever get the audio set up. All right, hopefully this is a little bit better. We're going to wing it. Remember, we do apologize. This is our first attempt at this with the new system. We did not do a trial. We're shooting from the hip, as we do best. All right, everybody, welcome my brother Chase from ChaseWins.com. Can you hear us, Chase?
What's going on? I can hear you just fine. How about me?
From Chase. Try it again.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right, welcome. I can hear Chase. Hopefully all of you guys could hear Chase as me as well. If you can't, post in the comment section, and we'll definitely try and figure it out. But either way, welcome, Chase. This man is your key to NASCAR success. He is absolutely making us money. And a lot of money.
I can't take the credit, though.
What's going on?
I cannot take the credit.
I know you got Patrick
credit
doing it all for you.
But yes, undoubtedly the best that I've ever seen. Every client is beyond thrilled. And, you know, everybody knew what they were getting into coming into this season that had been with us before. But to be, 3 races in, and the only loss we've taken is one head-to-head matchup out of the, 10 that we've had? So 9-1 there, a race winner in every single race thus far. One at plus 750, one at plus 900, and this past week with a dark horse at plus 1,000. I don't know what could get much better.
Well, I know you've been feeding me the NASCAR, and I'm very appreciative of it, and so is my pocketbook. And I know all your customers are as well. And tell us a little bit more about the NASCAR schedule and how people get your NASCAR and what to expect and exactly what the head-to-head matchups entail, because a lot of people, like myself included in the beginning, were not aware of how to bet a head-to-head. In NASCAR anyways.
So, all right. So I guess we'll start with that. So the head-to-head, and again, for anybody that's never bet NASCAR before, even myself, when I met Patrick back in 2014, I had no idea what it meant either. I thought if you were going to bet racing, it was you just go and, buy into a racing pool like you do with your buddies or something, and that was the gist of it. But what Vegas does every race is they take not only who Vegas projects to be top 5 or top 10, but then a slew of other drivers in the field that day, and they pair them up head to head. So for instance, Kyle Busch versus Jimmy Johnson. And then they'll give odds to that, saying, okay, Kyle Johnson will finish ahead of, Kyle Busch will finish ahead of Jimmy Johnson at minus 150. Jimmy Johnson to finish ahead of Kyle Busch at plus 130. And they'll have anywhere from 15 to 40 of those that Vegas will release. So every week what he does is he analyzes the entire field starting on Thursdays. He's been in NASCAR for a long time, so he understands the tracks, any veteran drivers that have driven at least a handful of times on the track, even in lower tier races. He's already got his preconceived notion of what's to come. Then he, processes all of the race reports, practice, qualifying, inspection reports, so on and so forth. And he comes up with his top 10. His top 10 of how he sees the race folding out, drivers 1 through 10, as well as a few people that are long shots to win it, who he think holds value. And then when those head-to-head drivers are released, he goes through and he finds where the value lies, picks them, and then he releases his card on that end, as well as who he thinks is going to win the race. And he takes a couple of those drivers and puts them on there at plus big money. Everybody flat bets the whole thing and walks away with a nice fat check at the end of it.
It's absolutely awesome. I know I've been betting it. I was betting it towards the end of I was betting it towards the end of last season, into the beginning of this season with NASCAR, and it's been absolutely awesome. I know you guys ended on a high note last year, and you started at exactly where you left off, and that's putting money in everybody's pocket. And that is absolutely awesome. And now I heard you went 2-0 yesterday.
Premiums, yep. There was actually more than that. Wife was in a little fender bender yesterday, so I kind of got hung up late afternoon going into the office to get everything posted like I normally do. So I kind of got things posted late. Luckily, the earlier games I'd actually given out for free on my live show that I do on Wednesday mornings. So some people got those, some people didn't. But as far as the premiums go, everything went really well. A lot of people did not like the Virginia Tech theory, and I think that came through and proved why it was a fluke that Clemson's won the games that they have. A lot of people have been interested in the early games today, and I've told them, just be careful with early stuff. I mean, you and I know, probably better than anybody, if you are not dialed into the early matchups during March Madness that happen early in the day, that's where Vegas will bite you, because that's the only thing on. They know that all the world is tuning in, wanting to see what happens, and that's where the typical gambler will go in and think that, it just is as black and white as they come, and they get bit.
No, that's awesome. Awesome day yesterday. Sorry to hear about your wife. I hope she's all right. And cars are always replaceable, but the wives aren't. So I hope everything's good there. Now, I do have a question for you. This is coming in from one of the viewers. You might know him, so I'm going to leave his name out. But he wants to know, and I'm going to get in trouble with this one, but why are you such a UNC fanboy? It's all from your buddy Danny D-Rock.
Danny. Tell Danny that I like to pull for actual universities instead of pulling for a bandful of taters, as in Clemson. He knows why I'm a Carolina fan.
I know.
I like old Danny.
Danny's just here trying to rip you. I posted in the comment section if anybody had any questions for you about NASCAR or anything else, baseball, and he wanted me to just try and rile you up and tease you in just a little bit. Edward, thanks for joining us.
He's probably doing it
well.
because he's probably doing this because the other day I posted on Twitter. I said, recording the last leg of episode 8 for my podcast. If anybody has any topics they want to talk about, let me know. Danny sent a comment and he said, talk about Atlanta Braves baseball. Well, he knows that I certainly, I'm not a Braves fan per se, but he knows my ties to the Braves as well as you do through my grandparents. And I said, yep. I said, I've got one for you, Danny. I said, I am going to talk about how the Braves are going to trade Ronald Acuna Jr. to the Cubs for nothing more than a bag of peanuts and 2 prospects. And the segment was going to be called Only in My Dreams. He got the joke. Some people didn't. I actually had some people take severe offense to that.
That's funny. Now, you brought up your podcast. Tell us about your podcast. Tell everybody a little bit about them, what they're about, how often you record them, and where, most importantly, they can find them.
All right, so the podcast that I've been doing since last year is Outfielders Anonymous. That is my all baseball podcast. It is not centered around sports betting per se. We do mention it. Obviously, ChaseWins.com is a sponsor of the show, as well as you have been before, or Cappers Direct has been. So we do touch on that, but it is more centered around just the game, growing the love for the sport, what's going on in the game. At that time, it's an all year round. We don't just do it during the season. In the off season and spring training, we do it once a week. Once the season begins, all the way through the World Series, it will be twice a week. The other podcast that we have launching, and you and I have actually talked about one of these because you're going to be on it, is Lay the Favorite. Lay the Favorite is a sports betting podcast that I will be doing that will go anywhere from once to 3 times a week, touching on some of the bigger marquee matchups in whatever sport or whatever's going on at that time of the year. Not only giving out free picks per se, but being that some of the stuff will be done in advance, it'll be a free analysis and breakdown of the game. The third podcast that launches next week is actually called, it's a spinoff of Lay the Favorite, The Daily Dog, which every day we will give a 10 to 12 minute short podcast of who we think the best underdog value on the card for that day is. And we'll be doing all 3 of those. All of them are under the Bleacher Bum Sports umbrella, which is my company. They can be found on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, 17 different platforms. So anything that is a podcast platform, we are live on. I think our most popular one per the data that we receive is I think it's Apple Podcasts, and then second to that is Spotify. So I personally use Spotify for podcasting as far as who I listen to. So, but it's really just personal preference. There's nothing that you gain or would lose from using one versus the other.
Well, there you have it, folks, on finding all of Chase's podcasts. And yes, I am going to be on one of them. I'm actually looking forward to it. It'll actually be my first time on an official podcast and not here on video. So I'm definitely looking forward to doing that for Lay the Favorite. That should be a lot of fun. Anytime I get to work with Chase, it's a lot of fun. Now, what we need to do is we need to somehow get him out here for March Madness for when everybody's out here for the tournament. It would be nice to be able to.
If everything goes the way that I want it to. Depending on how this meeting goes tomorrow, I'm hoping to leave late next week and be out there. It'll actually be a stop in Arizona for spring training. And then after that to Vegas for 3 days doing March Madness betting, as well as a meeting with my future soon-to-be golf handicapper.
Well, definitely looking forward to it. Maybe I'll be able to run into you in Arizona as well. I don't know if you know, but we opened up a West Phoenix office, and we're right down the street from a mutual client's house, as well as the Texas Rangers and the Kansas City Royals ballpark. So that's where I'm at currently, but I'll be back in Vegas before the tournament starts and all that good madness. So maybe we'll be able to catch a.
Is that why Jay looked? Is that why Jay looked like he was in an empty office today when he was getting me linked into this show? I was like, why is your office so empty? And he said, new office. That's all he said.
Yeah, we opened up another office down in the West Phoenix office. It's supposed to be strictly just for advertising and marketing people to run our advertising marketing out of because finding quality advertising and marketing gurus in Vegas is definitely a challenge to find quality talent when it comes to that aspect. So we opened up an office down there, but me and my wife are building a property down there. We all have a couple rental properties, but we're building another property, and we're going to be spending time splitting it up while the little one's still young. So it's a neat little avenue for me to be able to work out of as well. They set me up with a nice office. I got a nice, beautiful window view of some small school and a bunch of snot-nosed, runny little kids out there playing tetherball all day long. But we're definitely excited for you to come. And I know Jerry was saying that you were going to be coming into town for some spring training, so maybe I'll be able to join you guys on a game. Now, one thing I wanted to ask you before you get out of here, Chase is an expert when it comes to Major League Baseball. Just like myself, I absolutely love baseball when it comes to betting it. I may not be the biggest fan of baseball, but I absolutely love betting it. It's one of our biggest money-making sports that there is betting Major League Baseball. Either our premium plays, personal plays, our system plays, all of that stuff. But Chase is an absolute whiz and a genius when it comes to Major League Baseball. And I was wondering, Chase, any dark horses that you see coming, going to be able to give the Yankees a run for their money or the Dodgers a run for their money this year?
That's a question that I've been asked a few times, and I think that I've got two answers to that. And I think one of them you'll appreciate is, number one, I don't think that the Yankees are as much of a competitor as everybody assumes that they are. They think that just because they acquired Garrett Cole, which, don't get me wrong, I'm not turning my nose up to the acquisition of a phenomenal arm like Garrett Cole, but it's a completely different dynamic when you talk about one pitcher being the end all of, hey, we can't win a World Series right now, and then all of a sudden he comes in and wins it for you. That's just, in baseball, not the way it tends to go. So I think that the Dodgers are more of the clear-cut favorite than people are actually giving them credit for. If they do not get hit with injury, it would take another cheating scandal or a miracle for the Dodgers to not at least play for a World Series in 2020. As far as a dark horse, I think the dark horses are going to lie in the American League this year, because I do think that outside looking in right now, you would assume Yankees. I think what everybody's forgetting to realize is this team that's under such scrutiny right now because of cheating is still the best team in the American League. I'm sorry, but the Houston Astros still have, as a whole, as a team, the best American League squad. And now they're under, the realm of Dusty Baker, who's going to do nothing but help them out of this situation that they're in. As far as a true dark horse, I think that a lot of people, I think you could say the Astros are a dark horse, because everybody's counted them out. They're not talking about them in World Series fashion anymore. All they want to say is Garrett Cole's gone, and they, obviously they're cheaters, so take World Series out of it. They haven't been punished enough to not be able to compete for one. So if their young guys can get mentally past what's going on, they most certainly could go play for another one. Taking it into a team that certainly nobody was even thinking of, I think there's two of them. One of them in the National League probably being the New York Mets. Still have the best pitching squad on the East Coast, in my opinion. A lot of people probably will not agree with that, but that's just the way I see it. I think that any team like the Cubs or the Cardinals, or even the Phillies, could make a run if everything fell into place. But I would say your dark horse for the National League would probably be the Mets, and your dark horse for the American League is if one more key piece happens and Ohtani comes back as a true dual threat, is the Angels.
Good to know. Appreciate the knowledge. Now, I do have another question, skipping all the way back to NASCAR. Tell people how to get your NASCAR, what the price is to get the NASCAR, and when they need to sign up by to be able to get NASCAR. Because, guys, if you guys don't know, Chase gives me some amazing NASCAR, and I've been hammering it. I've made a boatload of money already from last season to the beginning of this season of NASCAR. I mean, hitting a plus 1,000 dark horse, a plus 900, all the other head-to-head matchups that he's been giving me is absolutely been awesome. But tell everybody how to get it, what time they need to be signed up by on the certain day, et cetera, and what they need to know.
All right. So as far as your week-to-week type players, the ones that are, maybe want to try it out for the first time, you can get it. The package goes live every Saturday mornings or so at basically midnight on Friday night. You then see the daily card for NASCAR. I have his NASCAR card on Saturday mornings is typically when he gets it to me. So let me know that you can actually hear me, because something just happened.
Yep, we can hear you. I hear you just fine.
I'm going to hold off till I hear from you.
I hear you just fine. All good on our end. Everybody hear Chase? Nothing's changed on our end. Give me 1 second, folks.
So you can hear me. I'm actually
Absolutely,
texting you, Kyle.
yes.
Text me and tell me if you can hear me because I completely lost on my end.
Yes, he.
All right,
For
so
some
I'm going to
reason,
keep going.
Chase lost audio.
All right, so NASCAR, daily card. I get his card on Saturdays. The reason that it's not released at that time is because final inspection reports have not been released. So what he gets that the general public does not have access to is a 100% in detail inspection report. So like what's happened the past couple of weeks with Joe Gibbs Racing or Team Penske, where they had someone qualify in the top 5, but then end up starting back in last place. That is because they failed final inspection. That does not mean that they cannot race. That does not mean that they have to do anything different other than they have to start at the back of the field. And then obviously they have to fix the issue, but then afterwards start at the back of the field. He takes all of that into account. He can obviously we're not going to release a race card until we know where everybody's starting, number one, which very rarely will you see Patrick pick someone that's won the pole to win the race. And that's what your typical expert will do. Last week, the entire world, I mean, everybody had decided that Kevin Harvick was the unanimous winner well before the race. He didn't even have him on the card. And that just goes to show you his expertise versus someone that just is assuming based on what the media says. But all of that taken into account that he gets access to that other people do not. Usually by Saturday night, he has gotten everything he needs to reevaluate his initial decisions. And then come Sunday morning, we reevaluate odds. He knows that I do not allow odds of over 160 on anything under any circumstances. And I try to keep it under 140. Obviously, all of the race winners are plus value, but I'm talking head to head.
So we just dropped Chase. Let's see if we can get him back on real quick. He just logged back in, so hang on 1 second, guys. A couple technical difficulties here. Give me 1 second, see if we can get him back in. All right, Chase, we're back. Can you hear us? All right, we got Chase back. Are you able to hear us? What about now? Try again.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't see you, but I can hear you.
It seems that we dropped Chase's audio for some reason. We got the video. We can see him. Try again, Chase.
Hello.
Are you guys able to hear Chase? I know you guys could hear me, but are you guys able to hear Chase? You guys hear Chase, but for some reason I don't now. This is weird. You guys could hear him. Well, I can't hear him. So let's see here. Give me 1 second here. This is rather strange. Especially when nothing
changed one
bit. All right,
Chase, are you still there? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're actually echoing.
All right, try
it one more time, brother.
See if we
got you now.
How about now?
For some reason I can hear you. Don't know what the heck happened. But we dropped you. It re-put you in the system twice, but I found in your audio levels here one. So welcome back, Chase. Glad to have him back.
All right, perfect. So everybody's good now? You can hear me now?
We can hear you now. They're saying there's an echo. Am I still echoing? Let me ask the people in the chat. Let me see if there's still a double echo. I think they said it's good now. All right, they said it's good now. So resume where you left off. You were talking about your NASCAR packages, what time to sign up, and how much.
Yep.
And
so
where to go.
As I was saying, on midnight Friday night, it goes live. So anytime from that point until 1 hour prior to race time on Sunday, it's $50. You can buy the package. Obviously, like I said, I have his initial race card usually Saturday mornings. We do not release it until the day of the race just because we have to read over final reports, check odds, make sure everything's still the way we wanted it, and in line with the criteria that I have. So that goes, but if you sign up, let's say you sign up on Saturday, you'll get an email Sunday morning once the card goes live. It's $50. That includes every pick for that day, every head-to-head matchup, dark horse, his race winner prediction, along with odds. And if there's any special instructions like there were this week on how I wanted or how he wanted you to bet those dark horses, it'll always be there, very clear as to how we want you to do so. And that's the daily card. Like I said, it's $50. It's well worth it. It's honestly beyond too cheap, to be 100% honest with you. But for the people that have been with us before, know what the race cards are like, I would say the best thing to do would be buy the season. The season's $499. That includes every race, every pick, every future that he does, everything. There's nothing that we will release NASCAR related that you will not get. So that's $499. And I guess for this show, I've got a coupon code that I had my IT guy do this morning. And the coupon code is Kyle10. So Kyle in lowercase and the number 10. That'll get you 10% off the NASCAR season. The day passes are as is, but Kyle10 will get you 10% off Patrick's NASCAR season. It will pay for itself week 1. I can assure you of that. So you can do that. That will go live until the start of the race on Sunday. And I really think that's it as far as NASCAR promos or anything go. You would spend $3,400 if you bought a race card every Sunday from now until the end. There's 34 races to go. So it's well worth it just to spend the $499. March Madness is going on. 2 days into March Madness now. Customers have already made a killing in the 2 days that we've been doing that. I have a coupon going to get 10% off the $199 March Madness pass in honor of this show. And it's CAP, C-A-P 10, CAP 10 for the March Madness $199 special. Get you 10% off that.
There you have it, folks. Couple coupon codes from Chase for ChaseWins.com. Now, there was.
Tell me what you want me to do. I can go ahead and give my outro if you want me to. Jay's texting me now saying that he thinks he knows the issue and that we can have it fixed before we do our full show next week or beginning of next week, whatever, or the following week, whatever.
Chase, are you able to hear me at all? Chase, can you hear me at all? All right, Chase can't hear me for some strange reason, but I just texted him he's got the floor.
All right, Kyle says everybody can still hear me, so I'm going to give my exit. Kyle, Jay, everybody that was involved in getting me linked in this morning. I guess first, thanks to Kyle Johnson and Cappers Direct for having me on and asking me to be a part of the show. Thank you to Jay for for taking the time out earlier in the day to get me set up, all of the links and everything done, testing cameras, all that good stuff, making sure that we would be good. So thank you, Jay. Hopefully I'll see both of you guys sometime next week or the following week. But yeah, I guess that's it. So in finishing, again, thanks for having me on. If you guys want to make money, obviously baseball season's coming up. Coupon code for NASCAR is Kyle. obviously, just like it's, the name, Kyle, lowercase, and the number 10, get you 10% off Patrick's NASCAR season. And then CAP, CAP, and the number 10 for 10% off my March Madness package. Both of those are at chasewins.com. And I also have a donation going for the Cal Ripken Foundation. Everybody should already know about it if you follow me at all. The donation goes through the end of the week. You can donate anywhere from $10 to $10 million if you want to. It's a great cause. Just send me an email, chase@chasewins, if you would like to know how to donate. I'll give you the link to the website in which you can make your donation anonymously or put your name and information there so people know. But that's it, guys. I'm going to get back to work on getting my plays done for the day and getting my clients taken care of. Thank you again. Hope to see you all soon. Kyle, I'll talk to you later on, and we'll hammer out the details for the next show. Thanks, guys.
All right, everybody. Thanks, Chase, for coming on and joining us.
Iron out the kinks, that's for sure. We'll definitely iron out the kinks for the next time, folks, and we'll make sure that the live feed is even better. This was just, we wung it this time. We definitely wung it this time, and I'm glad it worked out somewhat. Obviously, I think we could definitely get it better. I was actually going to ask the question. I know I saw there was a question, but for some reason he wasn't able to hear me on who he liked on UNLV or Boise State, so I do apologize for not getting to ask him that. But I'll definitely have him back on again. We'll talk some games. I know he's been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes with Jay and possibly doing something with him together in a joint little package, because if you guys don't know, Jay knows his shit. He was the one that used to do the videos long before me. He just clams up, gets nervous, and if he's watching, I apologize for telling you this, but he just doesn't have a face for this. I mean, it's not as pretty as this looking one with the stash here. So I do apologize again for the little issues that we had with the delay. I think we worked that part out. We figured out that part. It's better if I actually watch and listen to what's happening on our back end screen, not the YouTube screen where the live chat is, and then we avoid all of the delay and all those technical difficulties. We'll iron out the bugs, have the capability to bring on multiple guests, and I think it'll actually be a lot of fun to be able to do that over March Madness and be able to do some other stuff, and especially if we can get Chase out here for heck, even some spring training when I'm in the West Phoenix area. If not, I'll come down for it, or in Vegas with us for March Madness. That would be a lot of fun as well. Edward, he doesn't have the face or a stash. Definitely not. Definitely not. Jay is definitely not the face that we want on the videos. Sorry, Jay, I do apologize for throwing you under the bus like that. No, he's actually probably better looking than me. Lewis, I have no idea. I'm filming a live show. The accounting office is in the Vegas office. I'm here filming a live show, so I don't know what they're doing, but I'm sure they'll take care of you just like they always do. All right, folks. So I do have to run, and as always, guys, we did break down those games. I don't have a free play for you guys just yet. I do apologize. And remember, we're not always going to have free plays during every live show for the fact that it's just not going to be possible. However, our premium plays are not even out yet. My personal plays are not out yet. So I don't have something just for you guys just yet. But after yesterday's free plays going 1 and 2, I want to make sure that it's going to be a monster day for us. So during the second live show, we're going to have something special for you guys, and it's definitely going to be a good time. So be on the standby for a premium play or my personal play for coming up during that one. So I do apologize, but our plays are not out yet. So there's that one. But I do think we gave out some quality leans already through the breakdowns. But we will be back again at 5 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be back in 3 hours, guys. We'll be back in 3 hours, but I'm literally going to get on a conference call for about 5-6 minutes so that way they could actually get the plays posted on the website, and then I'm going to be splitting. If you're on my personal plays, don't worry. You're not missing nothing. I will definitely make sure everybody gets on them. I'll do it while I'm driving or after my little builders meeting. But as soon as they're ready to rock and roll and ready to go, they will be released to everybody. So enjoy your guys' afternoon. If you're betting on those early games, bet responsibly. Bet within your means. Don't do anything stupid. We'll be back here live in less than 3 hours. 2 hours, 59 minutes sharp. Don't miss out for the afternoon show. It's going to be a great time. And we're definitely going to be putting some money in everybody's pocket today. So if you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button. That way you get notified when we go live at 5 p.m. Eastern time, which we'll have more breakdowns, a lot more breakdowns, more free plays, and all of that good stuff. And make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already done so. So again, great turnout. Thanks for everybody tuning in. And I'll see if I can get Chase back on in the next day or two as well to have him talk some college hoops and maybe some baseball as well. Maybe a futures bet we can steal out of him as well. So thanks, everybody.